Hello, my name is King Gladiator. Welcome back. Today we'll be playing BannerLords 2, the new DLC. The new culture that was released are the Nords. They're pretty good on the sea, as well as raiding villages, caravans, and villages. They're not too good on land. I have not played them yet, nor will I play them this playthrough. Currently we're going to go through each of the cultures. You can pause the video if you want, or I'll put a timestamp of when you can skip to when we're actually playing. Some of the new backgrounds are Imperial Fleet, Small Boat Fishermen. If you want to pause, you can read through it. Your uncanny ability to predict the weather is also new. Worked at the docks. They're pretty self-explanatory of what they do. If you read the green, it tells you. Crewed a galley in the coastal raids. This, I don't think, has anything new. After completing the tutorial, you should get a stealth tutorial that you can do or you can skip. Then for the DLC, you should get Troubled Waters. If you hit Take Me to Ostican now, it should teleport you, or you can walk there by yourself. And then you go to the port and you should get this prompt.
Listen, you lot, I'm in a bit of a hurry. If I give you a penny each, will you stop pestering me,
You're Gunnar of Lagshofen, aren't you? We've got a message from the Sea Hounds for you.
You've got a message from those curs. Out with it, then. What's your message?
The message is that you will die, you damn fool!
And how should I die, then? Of old age? While you three work up the courage to attack a wizened graybeard? Go on. You've delivered your message. Now scamper off.
We'll send you down to the Pale One's hungry holes right now. Kill him, boys!
Die, you bastard! By my blood! Damn, that hurts. Ugh. I think I'm all right, though. Thank you. I am Gunnar of Lagshofen. I've come to this port seeking warriors and a ship. These men we fought were allies of a pirate gang who called themselves the Sea Hounds. They have been raiding and slaving along the Nordvig's shores, and I intend to go to war with them. The Sea Hounds and I have history, and nowadays they hate my guts as fiercely as I hate theirs. Somebody must have sent word of my whereabouts to their local friends, as these lowlifes had a mind to do me in. Again, you have my thanks for evening the odds. I know what it's like to lose family to slavers. If you're still searching, look to the Sea Hounds. They've got their hands in most of the slaving that happens along these coasts. It's hard to believe now, but they were once my brothers in arms. Years ago we fought side by side in the last great rebellion in the north. Most of the clans and many freemen like myself refused to bow to Volbjörn the Usurper, as he was then called. But Volbjörn knew how to speak to men's desires. He won over the bigger clans with promises of land and silver. And when summer came and he brought a fleet to give us battle, he had with him so many longships that their sails covered the horizon. We still fought them, of course, but the numbers were too many to beat. They dishonor what we fought for. I'm no stranger to battle. I'll kill when I must. But they murder for pleasure, thinking the All-Father rewards bloodthirst. He wants warriors, not hounds. I mean to gather up some of my kin and friends to go against the Sea Hounds. Just a few days ago I ran into an old comrade of mine here in Ostican. He is called Purig, and he happens to own a fast ship. He promised to help me capture a Sea Hound ship and put together a crew. So, I'm going to make you a proposal. Perhaps you'd like to come with us. I can't guarantee you will find your kin, but I can promise a good fight. And if we win, a bit of fine loot. And, well, if you'd ever had an interest in learning how to handle a ship, you won't find any better school than these northern seas. You can find Purig in the tavern and introduce yourself. I should go get myself cleaned up and get ready to travel.
Aye? So, who are you then? A fight, you say?
Gunnar a new one, huh? He's alive? Well, good for you two. Gunnar is a tough old goat and rather hard to kill. I shall have to ask him about it when I get the chance, so... Yes, I agreed to help him in this little feud with the Sea Hounds. For all Gunner's sake. I've got my ship and men ready to sail. If you're indeed of a mind to go with us, I'm happy to take you. But I've only got room for you. So if you've got any traveling companions, you'll need to leave them in this port. I'm sure you'll be back soon to rejoin them, safe and sound. Come down to the ship with me then. Wind and tide are with us, and I won't tarry long.
My brothers, I hope this letter finds you well. I told you that I might soon ask you to join me in Ostican. That time has now come. Let me tell you what has befallen me since we last parted. I have been trying to gather warriors here to help us fight the Sea Hounds. I was lucky to find one very capable and brave soul who came to my help when they ambushed me in an alley. This warrior has a sister who was enslaved along this coast and agreed to join me in my hunt, in the hope of learning more about her whereabouts. I had planned to sail out of Ostican with our old comrade, Purig. I considered myself very fortunate to have found him. Here was a warrior with a ship who shared my hatred of the Sea Hounds, ready to sail with me. But I had misjudged him. He was instead the lowest form of traitor, a man whose feigned camaraderie concealed a contempt for all that we value. The first night on the open sea, we were woken up by Purig's men holding knives to our throats. Purig had struck a deal with the Sea Hounds, and he intended to hand me over to them to be tortured and killed. He was always ambitious, and seemed eager to win favor with what he imagined to be a new power in the north. "I am sorry, old friend," he said, "but the Sea Hounds are strong and rich, and I think you always wanted to die spitting defiance at your foes." This was the last he spoke to me. His men chained us to the oars. The sea was calm and the weather hot. They made us row hard, and we suffered greatly as we cruised the coast looking for merchantmen. Presumably Purig wished to appear before the... Your chain is loose. It's now or never. Get up and strike them down.
You're dead!
Well done. Now, help us get these chains off, huh? Well done. That's twice now you've gotten me out of a bad spot. Can you see those poor lads thrashing in the water over there? Right. Now, let's slow down so they can climb aboard. There's 2 more of them over there. Let's go fish them out. Right. Now, let's slow down so they can climb aboard.
Oh, thank you. Heaven be praised. We thought we'd escape the arrows, only to be drowned by the waves. Heaven protect us all.
Think nothing of it, lads. You've done the same for us, one sailor for another. So, look, lads. Purig is still around, but I suspect he's overladen and undermanned. I doubt he can find us before nightfall, which is good because I don't think we can outfight him. By my reckoning, we're still not far from Ostican. So, row, my boys, for Ostican and safety. So look, lads. Purig is still around, but I suspect he's overladen and undermanned. Well, I sent off my letter, and I spoke to some men from my homeland who have just arrived. They are sick of sea hound raids and ready to join us in our hunt. I'm afraid we cannot take your own companions, however. There's not enough room on the ship, and my men aren't willing to trust their lives to any other vessel in these northern seas. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon, but we have a bit of time. I do not know for sure. If I had ever knowingly given him insult, I never would have sailed on his ship. A true warrior to my mind knows his own mettle. He does not need others to remind him of his honor. He knows that sometimes in war you suffer bad luck. Your ship arrived late. You were carried away in the rush of a rout. You were defeated by a king with forces far greater than your own. Other men, on the other hand, crave glory. They must hear the cheers of townsfolk and wear gilded armor given to them by kings. They must be envied by other men, and if they aren't, they may hear a little voice in their head telling them that they can steal this glory, that they can slay the weak and take their wealth and buy the respect that they crave. That voice spoke to Purig. He gave into it, and it twisted his heart into something truly dark. He is a husk of a man filled only with ambition and wounded pride, all concealed beneath a fair face and a friendly laugh. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon, but we have a bit of time. I suppose I have time for an old war story or two, if you're truly of a mind to hear. As I told you, we fought together against old King Volbjörn. Many of us were from BannerLord and other parts of the Nordvig, where even the Jarls tread lightly. A man who called himself our king. Well, we weren't having any of that. We didn't call ourselves the Sea Hounds back then. but we flew the Dog's Head banner to show our loyalty to each other and to our cause. We fought, but we lost in a great battle in Valvik Bay. I and 100 other captives were led before Volbjörn, and the king ordered his men to take our heads. A dozen or so were killed before me, so I had time to think up something to say. As they held me down to receive the blow, I told Volbjörn that it was a good thing I'd eaten not long ago, so I could let him know directly from the high hall what sort of feast they'd prepared for him there. I thought he'd order me cut open or flayed, but instead Volbjörn laughed and told me that he liked my mettle. He'd spare my life and the lives of the rest of my comrades, so long as I swore an oath not to take up arms against him again. Volbjörn had made his point with a dozen headless bodies at his feet, and men paying the land tax or serving in his armies were of more value to him than corpses. If I swore, 100 of my comrades could return to their families. So I swore. Some of our number never showed up at the battle, however. I can imagine how it went for them after that. Mocked in taverns or in scraps of songs sung by children. The North is not forgiving of those who throw away their good name. Their old life where they were feared rather than scorned must have seemed much sweeter in comparison. And of course they conceived a great resentment against those of us who faced death and showed them up as cowards. These are the ones who became the Sea Hounds, who aimed to steal the wealth and glory that they failed to win in battle. The North is not forgiving of those who throw away their good name. Their old life where they were feared rather than scorned must have seemed much sweeter in comparison. And of course they conceived a great resentment against those of us who faced death and showed them up as cowards. These are the ones who became the Sea Hounds, who aimed to steal the wealth and glory that they failed to win in battle. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon. The ones with us now are farmers from the island of Baneland, near my village at Laxorpen. They are good men and well motivated. That coast has suffered greatly at the hands of the Sea Hounds, but they are not warriors who live for battle. The letter, though, was addressed to one of my very old friends, Bjolgur of Agelting. When he left the rebellion, he chose neither peace nor banditry. He chose instead to join the Skolderbruda, the Shield Brothers. Rather than fight for a king, he said he would fight for whoever pays him. A king may turn out to be unworthy of his warrior's valor, but gold is never unworthy. I do not pretend that I see eye to eye with Bjolgur on all things, but he, like me, prefers to match his skill against other warriors, and he has kin in Vineland. He will not come immediately, as he must take permission from his brotherhood. But when he does come, we will be very glad of his help. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon, but we have a bit of time. Well, I do not think we will have to go very far to start our hunt. A pair of ships have been patrolling off our coast, robbing passing fishermen. And I'd wager one of my eyes to a bale of herring that they're sea hounds. They scatter like minnows whenever a real warship sets out, But I think that my men's little vessel will be prey much to their liking.